There is a tidal wave of consistent data saying this is going to be a very challenging time.
The days on the market, the inventory of homes available, more homes coming on the market as sellers are trying to escape this mess, and the inevitable price cuts, which we're going to cover in just a minute. What to do if you're a buyer.
And what do you do if you're a seller? We're going to cover all of that and a lot more in our mid-month report.
So this was a really unsettling video to make because there's a lot of stuff in here that you may not want to watch.
But you have to.
So let's get started right now.
First things up, days on market.
So let's go to the big board and take a better look at this. So what you're looking at is a national map of days on market. Everything in red has been on the market for a lot longer than everything in blue. Look at Illinois. Illinois has got no days on the market. Well, it does. It's like 20 or 30. When you look at Florida,
we're leading the pack.
Well, we're now at 69 days on the market. Holy shit.
That's up since the last time we did this
It was
report.
64 days on market on July 30th when we did our end of month report.
Yeah.
And it has gone up 5 days in 15 days. This is not good.
It's way too fast.
Well, and look at the other homes that you're seeing. You've got New Mexico at 57. Louisiana is always close to us. That's at 67. Arkansas, 58. Anyway, you get the idea that Florida leads the pack with a number of days on market. But it's kind of the tale of two cities. We have North Florida and South Florida. We're going to cover more of that in just a second. What you're looking at is the state of Florida and the days on the market. The more red you see, the longer it's on the market. And the I-4 corridor, basically going from Tampa Bay all the way over to really Cape Canaveral, everything south of that is getting redder and redder, except for a couple of those up by Pensacola, way up in the Panhandle. Here's the issue. With what we're seeing, and there's a lot more information that's coming about what's happening on the south Florida, that red, especially the southwest area, that's not good.
No, Key West, 97 days.
97, that's it.
That's the highest.
That's exactly right. Sarasota is the same thing, even more than Tampa. We're going to cover more of this, but that's a concern. We see those on market, right? I mean, that's not good stuff.
It's crazy. Okay, so this next article sounds great, but balanced is really a stopover for the buyer's market.
So take a look at this, but don't forget what we just showed you on the graph that showed the days on the market. Balanced real estate market emerges in Northeast Florida. Yay!
Yay!
Wait. Okay, the part that was important to me is the July statistics showed a continuing stabilization of the real estate market in Northeast Florida towards a traditional balanced marketplace, says 2024 President Rory Dubin. Despite a worsening economy and higher inflation, median prices were down slightly, and the home affordability index was up, which means the homes are more affordable. Days on market are longer, and inventory of homes to purchase is higher. So as we just spoke of, it sounds great, but we know what's in South Florida and what's coming up. Remember this image? And all of that red on the bottom is going to move its way up into Jacksonville and into Gainesville and north.
Next up is inventory.
Take a look at this. Florida inventory, 141,298 homes currently available on the market.
Woo!
We are the absolute top state in the entire country with homes on the market. But here's what concerns us even more, not us, or all of us, cumulative even more, is just 15 days ago, there was only 140,000 homes on the market. So we've gone up another 1,200 homes. That concerns me. This is a record.
And what you're looking at now is a snapshot of the Orlando market from July over 3 years. And look at that jump from July 2022 to July 2024, 5,000 home increase.
So I went back to 2016 and started looking at all the history on this, and we're higher than we have been in the past 8 years, which is just absolutely crazy as far as I'm concerned. Okay, the next article. Will housing market crash in Florida? Supply soars to a 7-year high.
Everyone says the market's going to crash.
I just said that, though. Didn't know we had an 8-year high in my world, but it said 7. So we've got another article. Take a look at this.
This is a great article, and we're going to drop it in the description below so you can really read it word for word. But basically, it talks about the key factors that are driving the surge in supply, and they are increased housing inventory, rising home building projects, economic pressures, and post-pandemic realities.
So we covered the rising inventory. It says rising home builder projects. We haven't talked about that in a couple of weeks. The home builders are building, but they're actually slowing down now because they're nervous too. and they're usually smarter than we are, which we hate to say.
That's an indicator of what's happening.
Absolutely. That's a bellwether for sure. The economic pressure, well, we've got going into an election, so everybody's going, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, and this is where it happens now. We've got post-pandemic realities, which the truth of the matter is everybody moved to Florida when they were working remote, but we got to go back to the jobs, and we're not having as many people move to Florida, and quite honestly, insurance and everything else.
Homeowners association fees.
Everything's expensive here. We are no longer this value state as we were in 2017, 18, 19, and 20. We're more expensive. Let's just own it. That's going to take its effect.
Hi, it's Jackie. I would like to ask a favor of you because it would mean the world to George and I. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We put a lot of time and effort into creating these videos for you so you can be educated on the market, and we really would appreciate if you would like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon.
New listings are also on the rise. Let's check this out.
Now you're looking at the Orlando snapshot of new listings. Now you'll notice that in July of 2022, on the left-hand side, we had 4,700 homes, and then we dropped down in 2023, kind of right about the time that we had the interest rates going through the roof, which caused everybody to say, I'm not going to sell because I won't get rid of my rates. Well, new listings are coming back up again, as you can see on this graph, and they are increasing quickly.
Now let's talk about the price cuts. Cover your eyes for this one, folks. Check it out. So once again, we're going to focus on the red, and you'll notice the pattern right along the middle where we have that I-4 corridor. You're going to see the most significant or the highest price cuts. And that does include, you have to go a little farther north, and we have to lump in Jacksonville in there as well.
Right. So you see that part at the bottom that you and I were talking about just a little while ago where South Florida was all kind of wonky.
Yeah. More days on market, but not as many price reductions.
That's correct.
And that's probably why.
But those are coming.
Yeah. And
they're coming quick. And this is, it's kind of like this, as we talked about, it's kind of a tidal wave that's coming on. So we look at this because these are all bellwethers as well. Florida housing market struggles as Tampa prices slashed by 1 in 3 sellers. Wow. Okay, let's jump into it. So I'm just picking out some parts that are important. And this part I want to read to you. While the worst housing market for growth in the entire nation was Austin, Texas, due to the dramatic price drop it has seen in the past couple of years, 17% plus, and the high share of listings with price cuts, 29.54%. 5 of the top 10 worst markets were in the Sunshine State.
Drum roll, please. The 5 are Northport, Cape Coral, Crestview, Naples, and Tampa. And let's add to that the sales are down as well. Let's check this out.
What you're looking at is a snapshot of the Orlando market, and this is going back 1 year. That's the yellow highlighted. And you'll see at the very bottom of that, under July, we have closed 2,652 homes this July. Last July, we closed 2,852 homes. You remember how I was just talking that I went back to 8 years to take a look at all this?
2016.
We were selling so many more homes. Yeah. It was just crazy how many more we were selling. Our inventory was a lot lower. We've got now an inventory in this particular graph. It shows 11,158 homes.
Compared to 5,720 homes. That's just like mind-blowing stuff right there.
That's a year back, more than double. We've doubled in inventory, and we're seeing that. Remember when we just showed those price cuts? We showed that this is where the inventory is going up. This is all a cumulative thing. But we got some good news for you.
Finally, guys.
Yeah, good news. And if you stick around, I've got something for you at the end that's going to help you.
What is it?
Well, you know what it is.
No, I don't?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
you know what it is. You'll see. But I've got something at the end that'll help you. If you're thinking of selling, you might want to take a look at this.
Oh, I do know what it is.
You do know what it is. Well, let's get to the good news. Interest rates. We're finally seeing some alleviation of interest rates.
You know what? He gets so darn excited about the interest rates when it just goes down a little smidge, but they're not down enough.
They're not, but they're getting there. I mean, look at that, 6.4, and the VA in the bottom left is 5.8. That's huge.
Okay, the VA, that's a good rate, but still in the 6s. Wah, wah, wah.
All right, so let's get to what you do if you're a buyer. If you're a buyer, we wrote down some things. Prices are staying flat, or they're going to drop maybe just a little bit. We're not long-term expecting much of a decline as far as, just the prices falling off, because it's still Florida. Everybody wants to move here. Be aware of the rates, though. The longer the interest rates, as they get lower, the more competition is going to be out there. Right now, it really is becoming a buyer's market, so you're in control. That may change if the rates drop too low. Mm-hmm. Renting versus buying may be an option. Let's throw this up.
We talk about that all the time.
Well, I've got some great examples of it now, so take a look at this.
Renting versus buying Florida real estate, the cost difference in these 5 cities. We're going to cover Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and St. Petersburg. We're going to focus on the average monthly mortgage payment and the average monthly rent because everything else is pretty much static. And we begin in Jacksonville, where the average monthly mortgage payment is $1,790 compared to the rent, which is $1,645.
Now, so here's the thing. I would say in Jacksonville, I would say buy. And here's the reason. You're going to get tax savings and benefits from the write-offs and everything else. It makes sense. And nobody's going to raise your interest rates because you're locking in your mortgage payment. And if the interest comes down, if the rates come down a little bit, that's actually going to be lower. I would buy in Jacksonville.
Buy in Jacksonville.
But let's talk about Miami.
Miami, mortgage payments $3,444. Average rent $3,154.
I would probably rent for a year based on what I'm seeing in Miami. Do you agree? Because I mean, I think that they haven't really dropped their prices yet, but their days on market are crazy.
Are going up.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I would probably buy.
You would buy.
Yeah, I would probably buy.
She's conservative. I'm more of a risk taker.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to Tampa.
Tampa, mortgage payments $2,280, rent $2,281.
No questions asked.
Buy.
Buy.
Yep.
For sure. Long term, if you're going to be there for 3 or 4 years, I would buy in here. Now, this can change, and we'll look at this each time. However, in Orlando, the average monthly mortgage payment is $2,304, and the average rent is $2,056. I would rent.
Rent. I would probably rent.
I would rent because I know the area. We know very well what's happening here with our everything going on. So we're voting rent for Orlando. We're basically saying don't work with us. Okay, we're just throwing that out there. How about St. Petersburg? You want to do that one?
Yes. Mortgage is $2,270, and the rent is $2,043.
So
rent
for sure, because what they haven't incorporated in there in your rent, it's covered, but you've also got to pay for your insurance, and since that's coastal, boom, through the roof.
Right.
And that continues to be a stinger. All right, so we've covered what I hope is some good news there.
Okay, so if you do decide to sell, of course, look out for pricing, marketing, and the big one is really negotiating your largest asset. Okay, stick around if you are interested in selling because we think we have something put together for you that you just may like. But more importantly, be careful of those walkaways.
Let's check this out. This is an article from Redfin. Cold feet, buyers back out of deals. Record rates in June as home prices at all-time highs. Those blue lines you're looking at are the walkaway rates.
This is when buyers are under contract and then they end up canceling the contract.
So what we just saw was the walkaway rates are substantially higher. Now, part of it has to do with they really can't afford it. They weren't checked out. What I would encourage you, since we're talking for the sellers, is you want to have a pit bull that's actually negotiating with their lender too. How long have they been working? Can they afford it? Are they not freaked out? Do they feel like they've won and nobody else got their home but them?
And are you sure, the agent, are you sure that you're telling your client not to go out and open up another line of credit or buy a TV in anticipation of having a new home? That kills so many deals.
It's up to 14.9% of the closings have fallen apart because of walkaways. This is a big deal for a seller. Something else that's a big deal for a seller is making sure that you've got the right people working for you. I want you to watch this video. We're going to put at the end. It's a short one. It's only 58 seconds. It's a guarantee for you. Before we're done, we have one more thing. Y'all probably heard of Blackstone. They're the largest the largest owner of all real estate in the world. Blackstone exits $1 billion worth of doors. They got rid of 11 apartment complexes. A total of 1,357 doors in Atlanta, 1,200 doors in Dallas, and 1,000 doors in Denver. What do they know that we don't know?
Something's happening.
Something. So keep your eyes glued. Use Reventure if you want good information about the surrounding area and give us a call. We are here to advise you. And you wanted to say thank you?
Yeah, thank you. We to all of our new subscribers and also for all of you taking the time to comment. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Watch this video now.
Bye.
You're going to like this. We guarantee to sell your home in under 45 days.
Or we'll step in and pay the mortgage until it does.
Hi, I'm Jacquie Sosa.
And I'm George Philbeck. Let's say that again. Your home sold in 45 days or less at a price you agree to, or we'll step in and pay the mortgage until it does.
And the best part is our guarantee is 100% risk-free. If you're not happy, fire us. You're in control.
We know you'll be happy because we outsell the average agent over 50 to 1. We're not bragging, we're applying for a job.
And don't forget, commission is completely negotiable. After all, it is your house, so you're in control.
For a more detailed look at why we outsell the average agent more than 50 to 1 and how you can sell your home for more money, as well as your potential next steps to a secure selling process, simply go to the site in the description and on the screen below. Thank you.